Well, my friend Charles, he's still feeling a little under the weather. This is got that little flu bug that everybody's been getting running around. It's a shame. Hopefully he'll get to feeling better soon. Today I want to talk about a topic that hits deeply with many of us, and that's becoming a man. This isn't just an age or physical strength or things like that, or it's a journey of wisdom, character, and spiritual growth. I want to start by reflecting on my own journey. Remember the moment I realized I was becoming a man. It wasn't during my teenage years when I achieved a physical milestone or gained independence. No, for me, it was a quiet moment when I was in my late 18, maybe early 19, in a foreign country. When I found myself in a situation where I had to make decisions that could impact others. I felt that weight of responsibility, a burden that I hadn't fully understood until that point. It was then that I realized that becoming a man is not about proving strength. It's about understanding the significance of our actions and our choices. In 1 Corinthians 13:11, the Apostle Paul writes, "When I was a child, I spoke like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways." This passage speaks volumes about the transition from childhood to manhood. It's a transition that involves not just age, but a commitment to maturity, wisdom, and strength comes from. It's a commitment to maturity and wisdom and responsibility. Let's talk about where true strength comes from. In our society, strength is often equated with physical power or the ability to dominate, but real strength, as we know, is much deeper. It comes from within, from our character, our integrity, and our ability to make wise decisions. Proverbs 24:5 tells us a wise man a wise man is full of strength, and a man of knowledge enhances his might. You see, wisdom enhances strength. It's not enough to be physically strong, but we must also be mentally and spiritually strong. This means seeking knowledge, learning to empathize with others, and understanding the world around us. It means recognizing that strength is not about being unyielding, but about being flexible, about knowing when to stand firm and when to show compassion. I want to emphasize the importance of wisdom in our journey into manhood. Wisdom is not something that we simply acquire, it is cultivated through experiences, reflection, and a willingness to learn. It's about asking questions, being open to the feedback, and acknowledging that we don't have to have all the answers. In James 1:5, we are encouraged, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God for, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him. This verse reassures us that wisdom is available to those who seek it. As men, we should not be afraid to ask for help, to seek guidance from those around us, and to turn to God for the wisdom we need to navigate life's challenges. Being a strong man also means being responsible and accountable. It means being there for others, whether that's family, friends, or our community. It involves recognizing the impact of our actions and understanding that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. In Ephesians 6:4, fathers are instructed not to provoke their children, but to bring them up in a discipline and instruction of the Lord. This calls for strength rooted in love and patience. It's a reminder that leadership, whether in the home or in the community, is not about exerting power, but about guiding with wisdom and compassion. As we think about our roles as men, let us also consider vulnerability. In our culture, vulnerability is often viewed as weakness, but I believe it is a profound strength. Being open about our struggles and fears and our failures fosters connections and understanding. It allows us to build deeper relationships and to support one another in our journeys. In 2 Corinthians 12:9, Paul shares a powerful truth. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. This is a radical understanding of strength. It's a reminder that in our moments of vulnerability, God's grace shines through. As men, we can embrace our weakness as opportunities for growth, learning, and deeper reliance on God. So as we reflect on becoming men, let us remember that it is a process, a journey filled with learning, growth, and transformation. It's about cultivating wisdom, embracing responsibility, and recognizing that true strength comes not from physical power, but from the heart. Let us seek to embody these qualities in our daily lives. Let us strive to be men of wisdom, integrity, and compassion. Let us support one another in our journeys and create spaces where vulnerability is welcome and strength is shared. I challenge each of you to reflect on your own journey. What does it mean to you to be a man? How can you cultivate wisdom and strength in your own life? Remember, becoming a man is not a destination, but a lifelong journey. One that we walk together as a community. Let us encourage each other, lift each other up, and strive to be men of God. As we strive to become the men that God has called us to be, I believe this encompasses so much more than age or physical maturity. It's about developing character, wisdom, and strength in our choices and relationships. Let's start by considering the wisdom found in Proverbs 4:7, which says, "Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding." As we are on this journey of becoming a man, we must first recognize that wisdom is essential. It guides our decisions, shapes our character, and helps us navigate the complexities of life. To become a man truly means to embrace responsibility. It means knowing when to stand firm and when to walk away. Many times, life presents us with challenges and reflections and relationships that may not be beneficial to our growth. Sometimes the bravest act a man can do is knowing when to say enough is enough. This might be walking away from a toxic friendship or a harmful situation that drains your spirit. It's not a sign of weakness, rather, it's a profound act of strength. to prioritize your own mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. In 1 Corinthians 15:33, we are reminded, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Surrounding ourselves with the right people is crucial. As men, we need to be aware of those in our lives who uplift us versus those who bring us down. It's essential to evaluate our relationships and ask ourselves, are the people around me encouraging us to grow, or are they pulling us into the darkness? God desires for us to be in a community, but he also desires that we choose our companions wisely. Moreover, becoming a man is also about developing the wisdom to recognize when someone else needs help without being told that they do. It's about having the heart to reach out to a friend who is struggling, or the courage to stand up for someone who's being mistreated. Galatians 6:2 encourages us to carry each other's burdens, and in this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ. Being a man means being true, being in tune with these needs and those around you. Showing compassion and being a source of strength when others are weak. But how do we cultivate this wisdom? How do we learn to discern when to walk away and when to engage? The answer lies in our relationship with God. Spending time in prayer, reading scripture, and seeking guidance from the Holy Bible equips us with the discernment we need in our lives. James 1:5 tells us, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. God is eager to provide us with this, the insight we need to navigate our lives. As we walk this journey, we must also understand that becoming a man involves embracing vulnerability. It's okay to acknowledge our struggles and fears and our shortcomings. In 2 Corinthians 12:9, we read, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. It's in our moments of vulnerability that God's strength is revealed. As men, we should not shy away from confessing our struggles to trusted friends. This openness fosters deeper relationships with them and allows us to support one another in our growth. Furthermore, being man is about making choices that reflect our values and beliefs. We live in a world that often pressures us into conform to a societal norm that may not align with our faith. Romans 12:2 encourages us, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, pleasing and perfect. It takes courage to stand firm in our convictions, but this is an essential part of becoming the man of God. As we reflect on our lives today, I urge you to consider your relationships, and your situations that may be holding you back. Are there friendships that drain you? Are there habits that lead you away from your purpose? Let's take a moment to pray and ask God for the courage and the wisdom to walk away from these things that do not serve us and to surround ourselves with those who uplift and encourage us. In conclusion, becoming a man is a lifelong journey of growth, wisdom, and strength. It requires us to know ourselves, to know others, and to make choices that reflect God's love and purpose in our lives. Let us commit today to seek wisdom, to embrace vulnerability, and to surround ourselves with those who inspire us. Remember that we're not alone in this journey. God walks with us every step of the way. May we all strive to become the men God has destined us to be, making choices that honor Him and uplift those around us. Let us always be able to pray and ask for God's guidance and strength in our lives. Now, I know the last few services we've had have been like this, and I've just kind of done them by myself here at the desk. We had a pretty good little snowstorm that came through. That kind of hampered on things, and then it just got blistering cold. And now this week, Charles is not feeling well, and I just have felt like it was better to do it like this than to even expect anyone to come dragging out in the weather and the cold like it was. I've been watching the weather, looking at the weather thing, and stuff. And fingers crossed. I'm hoping next week that it's going to break and we're going to finally it's going to ease up a little for us, and we're going to be able to kind of get back to normal and start having like we normally do in the sanctuary. And I know that one Sunday it was just with the snow the one week, and then the next Sunday it was like -5, -6 that day. There just wasn't no sense in trying to do anything like that. But as I said, hopefully next week things will be getting back to normal, and Charles will be feeling well, and we'll be back on track and back to doing our normal. But if not, I'll do this again, and we'll be here next week, one way or the other. And so until then, I guess God bless y'all, and we'll see you in the next one.